Hello and welcome to the presentation of the APO FineTuning. The process of fine-tuning is usually necessary after you set up APO with your new plant and learn the model for it, because some of the information specified in the table of tags and the correction rules and the validity rules turn out to be either not complete or not quite correct. So we have to observe their actions in practice by observing real suggestions and seeing what we were meant to be doing at that time. If we initialize the process and confirm, then 100 randomly chosen suggestions of the past will be retrieved from the database and will be used to initialize the fine-tuning. We will look at them, and here is a list of these 100 randomly chosen suggestions. At this moment, they're all marked with a red X as not okay. And our goal in the fine-tuning process is to mark all of them as okay. So let us have a look at these suggestions one by one. Here is a suggestion that was given on the 15th of May 2010 at 5:23 p.m. And the suggestion said that we should modify these two tags that are both measured in percent by a certain amount to go from the current operating point to the optimal operating point here. And what do we get for this? We get a potential of 1.35 in the units of the goal function. Now we ask ourselves, would it have been possible at that moment in history to perform that action safely and correctly? Would that have been sensible to perform at that time? Let's say we conclude that it was perfectly all right and would have been good for the process to do. Then we say this is okay and save that fact. Then we can close this. We can refresh that by filtering, and we can see this suggestion has been marked as okay. Let's look at the next one. We ask ourselves the same question, and let's say we're not sure about the answer. Now we know that the Advanced Process Optimizer suggests to move to points only if we have experienced those points before in the past. And that point is this prior point. So at this time, this suggestion has been experienced before, and let's have a look at what happened back then. Here we see a summary of the controllable, uncontrollable, and semi-controllable tags that we have in our plant, and a comparison between what is going on at this moment and what should be going on according to the model's opinion at the optimal point. The optimal point is the historical point in the past where this has previously occurred. And we see that even though we have 3 controllable tags in general in our plant, only one was marked in the suggestion as a necessary action. And the reason for that is that these 2 tags do not have any difference between the current value and the optimal value, and so only this 3rd tag is actually marked as a necessary action. Let's say as a result of our review of this historical point, we decide that this is not okay. We keep the marking as not okay, and we can, if we wish, save some sort of reason for this in here and save it for basically later memory assistance. If we conclude that we ought to change something at this point, we can do that. Via the APO menu, we can access here the correction rules and the validity rules of the plant. We can edit the goal function of the plant, or we can go back to the root and actually edit the information for the tags of the plant as well. Whatever we deem necessary to change, we can make these changes, and we can go to the APO menu to model, to relearn the model from scratch. And then we have to reload the suggestions in the fine-tuning, of course, and we would do that in this update function right here, which would, after relearning, take the new identity of these suggestions and bring them up for our review. And we would keep iterating this process until all 100 suggestions here have been marked as OK. At the end of that process, we know that the APO model has been checked for its validity, its usefulness, and its practicability, and we can conclude that the model is ready to be used online in a real plant setting. Thank you for your attention.